On Inside Serie A this week, we meet multi-talented Thiago Motta, a master on the pitch and now a master in coaching. Spezia supporters promise to bring an extra special serving of colour, passion and spice to Serie A. An American first for the old lady. Weston McKennie waves the stars and stripes at Juventus. And Giovanni Stroppa's loving the challenge at Crotone and aims to get one over on his old club Milan.
Coverciano, the technical centre of the Italian Football Federation at the foot of the beautiful rolling hills around Florence. At its heart is Italy's world-famous coaching academy, where professional players are rigorously prepared for a career on the bench, not the pitch. Former Inter and Genoa midfielder Thiago Motta recently completed the final stage of his coaching education, inspired by the treasures of the Museo del Calcio.
I have graduated here at Coverciano, where the history of football is indisputable. For many years, it has led the way over other football schools in the world. And one of the reasons is because of the level of preparation that is carried out here. I feel very happy, but also proud to have participated in a course that has given me so much. And I hope to put it all to good use with the teams I will coach in the future. The graduation thesis I presented to the professors focused mainly on trying to put the ball at the centre of attention. In football, it is the most important aspect, and we must manage and control it in the best possible way at an individual, but above all at a team level.
Thiago Motta, who gained a final result of 108 out of 110, was top of the class of recently retired players who earned their coaching UEFA Pro license, or Il Master, as it's proudly known in these parts. Among them, one of his former Italy teammates, Andrea Pirlo, who also passed with flying colours days before leading Juventus in their season's opener.
Andrea Pirlo has accepted such a huge challenge at Juventus, which means that he is a very intelligent person. He knows where he's come from, he knows the club, he knows what he has to do at a club like Juve. His entire career has been in football. We'll never forget what he's achieved in the game so far. This matters an awful lot.
Steps Pirlo! Picture perfect from Pirlo!
He is well prepared and loves what he does. Every possibility opens up for him starting with Juventus. He could have a huge career as a coach, even better than he had as a player.
The 38-year-old Italo-Brazilian played under some of the most influential tacticians of any era. Louis van Gaal, José Mourinho and Carlo Ancelotti. But above all, until recently, a less familiar name pushed him to new heights.
Over a short period of time, Giampiero Gasperini passed on many notions to me and helped me develop as a player, because I had come from a different style of play, especially that of Barcelona in Spain. I was able to change and evolve by learning a lot from a coach like him at Genoa. Then, when I went to Inter, I was the finished article and had a great season in that wonderful team.
Motta on the corner! A derby stunner! This is Thiago Motta! Oh, he got up so well to bury that!
Last season, Motta landed his first Serie A coaching job at Genoa, a tough baptism lasting only 10 games. But that learning experience was made all the richer as he faced one of the modern greats.
As a coach, Antonio Conte is just as intense as he was as a player, and he manages to convey this intensity to his players. He's never satisfied with 99%. He always wants 110% and manages to get it one way or another. This is the strength of a coach. to be able to get what he wants from his players and what he thinks his players can give.
Antonio Conte's Inter kick off their campaign against Fiorentina on Saturday night, and the former number 8 thinks the Nerazzurri are closing the gap to perennial champions Juventus. But they won't be the only challengers.
It is never easy at the start of the season. And to play the first game at San Siro against Fiorentina, who are a good side, is always going to be difficult. We all hope that Italian football has this level of competition, because everyone benefits. It even does Juventus good, because they will have to raise their level. I think that Juve, Inter, Milan, Atalanta and Napoli are the teams that can fight to the end for the title. I'm sure we'll see an evenly balanced and exciting title race.
Lorenzo Insigne celebrated his 350th match for Napoli in great style. A goal and victory in Parma, the perfect opener for his hometown team. Gennaro Gattuso will want to follow that up with a home win against Genoa. And Insigne's attacking twin Dries Mertens, who also netted against Parma, has punished the Rossoblu 4 times in his career. But Genoa started well too. New coach Rolando Maran's first game in charge was a 4-goal win, the first time in an opening round since the 1948-49 season. While they're in history-making mode, it's time to end their 11 years without a victory at the San Paolo. Maybe new men Davide Zappacosta and Marco Piazza can turn the tide.
Sampdoria will want to get over their 3-0 loss to Juventus when newly promoted Benevento come calling on Claudio Ranieri's men. The sides have only met twice in Serie A and have a win apiece. In the Blu Cerchiati's victory, Fabio Quagliarella scored a brace in front of his home fans. Because their matchday 1 fixture was postponed, Benevento's top-flight campaign kicks off away to Samp, just like 3 years ago. A defeat, but a memorable one. Amato Ciciretti scored a magical goal for the Witches. It was their very first in Serie A. Gianluca Lapadula, Filippo Inzaghi's new striker, will want to emulate that feat at the Marassi, where last year he struck the first of his total of 11 for Lecce.
It's the 35th Milan derby between Bologna and Parma on Monday night. The Rossoblu have 10 victories to the Ducali's 9. Sinisa Mihajlovic will be aiming to make it 11. So will Rodrigo Palacio. He's played 321 Serie A games, scoring 88 goals, and will be seeking his 11th strike against Parma. Attack. Surely Fabio Liverani will be underlining that message. His Parma side managed only 3 attempts on target against Napoli. What's more, it's been 8 years since the Giallo-Blu conquered the Dallara, a 2-1 win. Roberto Inglese could play a pivotal role. He has 4 goals and 1 assist in 6 matches against Bologna to his name.
This campaign, there'll be 2 teams with the Scudetto on their shirt. Naturally, one is Juventus. The other is in the top flight for the first time, and it's a strange story. 1944, another season when Serie A was suspended, and a makeshift side, the Spezia Firefighters, beat Torino in the final of a replacement tournament. It's not an official Scudetto, but the club can sport this special honor. Apart from that legendary win, the Eagles of La Spezia are famous for their extremely loyal and passionate supporters.
The railway stand behind the goal is fantastic and unique in my opinion. We had a support worthy of Serie A even when we were in the 3rd and 4th division. Thousands of Spezia fans follow the team both home and away, and going to San Siro on the Olimpico will be something to remember.
ogni tanto organizziamo qui.
We occasionally organize a get-together between the team and the supporters. We did it last season when 500 fans and the team got together.
Ed è stato veramente...
It was a way to form an everlasting bond between us and the players.
The thrill of promotion isn't limited to fan clubhouses. It's evident just about everywhere you go in this Ligurian city.
Let's say that for a city of 80,000 inhabitants, having a team in Serie A is a historical moment. We don't have all this football history, despite having won the 1944 unofficial championship. And now, as everyone says, I can die a happy man. I've seen Serie A, my life is complete. Last year, perhaps, was the most unexpected. We had a bad start. Then, with the strength of us fans, we led our Eagles towards this magnificent dream. We're convinced that we will remain in Serie A, and when we're finally back in the stadium, we will do what Spezia fans are famous for.
The Alberto Pico has hosted lower division football since 1919, an old school arena just steps from the sea. It's been closed due to the pandemic, but fans have found alternative ways to support the team.
When you think of the Pico Stadium, it's emotional, because if you close your eyes, you think of the choreography that the lads have done over the years.
And what a fiery welcome for Juventus at the Pico.
With the historic 2006 promotion to Serie B, the stadium was packed and the atmosphere was very heated. As David Trezeguet said, you could feel the screams of the fans right down your spine. He was the first big star to find how difficult it was to play at the Alberto Pico Stadium. After our first leg loss to Chievo, we got right behind the team and we pushed them on from the very first minute. From Andre Galabino's opener all the way to the final victory.
The dream start for Spezia.
We did it again in the playoff final against Frosinone.
Spezia one step away from Serie A.
It was terrible having to suffer outside, but then there was an immense outburst of emotion at the final whistle.
Spezia have done it. Serie A way.
Spezia start their Serie A adventure against Sassuolo, but the fans can't wait to take their passion inside their stadium once again.
In the future, when we walk into the stadium and ask a young fan which team they support, and hear Spezia and not Inter or Juve, that will be our greatest victory.
Later in the show, Giovanni Stroppa is a coach on a mission to succeed at Crotone.
Stars for the number of Scudetti, stripes for the famous shirt. So it seems somehow fitting that Juventus have signed a midfielder from the land of stars and stripes. Weston McKennie is the first American to join the club. He put pen to paper on his 22nd birthday in a whirlwind move from Bundesliga side Schalke 04.
It's a big honor to be able to wear this jersey and to play for this club, and to be the first American here as well. Such a big club like Juventus, you can't turn down the opportunity to come and play here, especially with the amount of titles and the amount of, the history that they have.
Though born in Texas, McKennie spent his formative years on a military base in Germany, and the former Dallas Academy player is an all-action performer.
The best position that I feel like, that I have the most fun in and that I feel like I'm most effective at is, box to box as an 8, to be able to turn, to be able to drive with the ball or to, win the ball defensively.
Driving forward almost made it a scoring debut against Sampdoria. Under a coach such as Andrea Pirlo, Juve, according to McKennie, is the perfect place to take his game to the next level.
Getting a coach like Andrea Pirlo, you don't get that anywhere else in the world. A person that ran the midfield when he played, that was a maestro, and he in his position.
Pirlo pulling the strings and finding Marquisio. Lovely goal. Marquisio just looping it over.
I expect to learn a lot from him, and not just from him. I think from everyone on the team. Just the couple days that I've been here so far, the professionality in the locker room and in the training and in the gym, for me is something that I feel like I can really take a lot away from.
Juventus got their chase for a 10th consecutive title underway with a resounding victory over Sampdoria. But on Sunday evening, they'll be under the bright lights of the Stadio Olimpico to face Roma, who have their own Americans in charge. It's also where McKennie's all-time favourite player once strode.
My idol whenever I was younger was Francesco Totti, just the flair and the class.
Totti! It's in the back of the net! Francesco Totti, the man who bleeds red and yellow, breaks the deadlock. What a strike from Totti!
This young man from the New World is seeking to mature and attain mastery with the old lady.
Eusebio Di Francesco's tenure at Cagliari started off respectably, picking up a point at Sassuolo thanks to Giovanni Simeone's header. The Argentinian striker has fared well for the Sardinians, and after his 2 goals against Lazio last year, on Saturday he'll be looking for his 3rd in a row. If he helps his side to a win, it'll be Cagliari's first home victory over Lazio since May 2013. Simone Inzaghi will start his 5th season in Lazio's dugout against a team he tends to beat. As a coach, the Italians never lost to the Rossoblu, winning 6 of 8 encounters. The Sardinia Arena is an inspiring venue for Luis Alberto as well. He scored 2 crucial goals in Lazio's last 2 victories on the island.
Marco Giampaolo got off to a losing start. Toro were defeated at Fiorentina. Frustration, but there's hope at the Grande Torino. In the last 10 seasons, they've won 8 of their first home league games of the campaign. In the last 3, Andrea Bellotti has been the standout performer, scoring 5 goals. His mission on Saturday night is to net for the first time against visitors Atalanta. Due to the postponement of their opener against Lazio, this is Atalanta's first appearance of a campaign in which they're targeting a 3rd consecutive Champions League qualification. If they match last season's feat, they'll be off to a good start. The 7-0 victory over the Granata saw Ladea record their biggest ever winning margin in Serie A.
The woodwork denied Verona against Roma on the pitch, but Ivan Juric's side were awarded a 3-0 walkover as the visitors had committed a player registration error. Now they face Udinese, a side they haven't defeated since 2002, when Mario Frick sparked Giallo-Blu celebrations. Since then, the Friulani have collected 3 draws and 2 wins in the last 5 encounters. Udinese are on the road for their first outing and are looking to follow up last season's run-in when they won 4 out of the final 5 away matches.
Atalanta get their campaign going at Torino on Saturday. Later, Inter set out at San Siro against Fiorentina, while Juventus travel to Roma on Sunday evening. Before that, Milan are at Crotone, where the home coach faces his past.
Crotone are back in Serie A after 2 years away, and this time they want to stay. In In charge of the struggle for survival is Giovanni Stroppa.
Le aspettative sono sicuramente.
It has the makings of a very difficult and competitive championship. The difficulty is made even more complicated by the too little time we had to enjoy our promotion. We have a serious challenge on our hands.
Il traguardo che ci siamo meritati.
There hasn't even been time to prepare for this season, so there are a lot of different variables. My first thought is always about giving the team an identity. I think this gives you the right mentality against anyone, no matter wherever you play. I always say you have to go 3,000 miles an hour on the pitch. Because if you don't run well, you get nowhere.
In his third season at the Rossoblu, the 52-year-old strategist plans to enjoy both the tactical battle in the top flight and the testing task of coaching.
Carlo Ancelotti once told me something he realised when he started as a coach, which I then experienced myself in exactly the same way. Carlo said, a footballer concentrates on the game maybe for the 2 hours on the pitch. A coach, after the final whistle, immediately begins to relive every moment of the match until he takes the next training session. I would add that this is wonderful. And if I'd known this before, I would have hung up my boots much earlier. On the one hand, this job takes a lot away from me, and yet it gives me back everything, and I believe that the passion and the desire to improve always comes out on top.
Stroppa, a product of the Milan youth system, was a brilliant playmaker who won the Champions League in 1990 under Arrigo Sacchi. But he never fully realised the heights that his talent had promised.
Stroppa steps back inside and let's play!
You can't live twice. That's the way it had to go. And I'm extremely happy because I was part of one of the most successful teams in the world, one of the best sides of all time. Let's say I still managed to achieve some great things, so I'm very satisfied. I made my breakthrough as a player at Milan and on the coaching side too, because my first job in the dugout was with one of the club's youth teams. So it represents my childhood, my youth and my maturity, both on the pitch and now as a coach.
Destiny has reserved a special date for Crotone's home debut this season. Milan are coming to the Ezio Shida Stadium on Sunday afternoon. And Stroppa can't wait to face his former club.
Obviously, when I come up against my old team, it will be something special. But we are so focused on doing what we need to do that all I care about is making sure we win. It's going to be difficult, but it would be one step towards our aim of staying up.
Next time, the master tactician Marcello Lippi analyses his former clubs Juventus and Napoli ahead of their big clash. Join us then. But for now, ciao ciao.